All right, let us welcome back the man, the myth, the legend, Big Tuna, Ben Parrish, who returns to the Bellator cage at the end of the month, Bellator 273, January 29th in Phoenix, Arizona, taking on Sullivan Cauley. Ben, good to see you, man. Happy New Year. How are you?
Happy New Year, my brother. How are you guys?
Doing great. Here we are. It's a new year. You have your second Bellator fight on the books after a massive moment in September. We talked about the short-term effects of that win over Christian Edwards a few months back, but what has life been like over the last 4 or so months? Because people were very excited when you were revealed to be on this card at the end of the month.
Bro, I didn't expect to be fighting this guy in January. I figured that they would wait like a little bit closer to March. I think that's when my current contract is up, but that's fine with me, man. I knew when I came back home I couldn't take any time off because they could call me any day. So right on time.
Yeah. Because Scott Coker was asked about you multiple times. He was on the MMA Hour a couple months back, and me and a couple of colleagues on the MMA fighting team were hitting Ariel up on our Slack channel. We're like, ask Scott about Tuna. So
I was actually watching that at work live. I was watching it live at work, and I cut it on. Like I cut the MMA Hour on. Sometimes I cut on Morning Combat. I cut a couple. I used to never listen to those until I won the fight, and then all my friends started telling me to listen to them. But I cut it on, and Ariel's like, we got one. What we really want to know is where Big Tuna is, dude. I almost spit my water across the room. I was drinking a bottle of water. Like I was like, did he really? He just asked that out of nowhere.
I was so happy.
Towards the end, they kept finding questions for Coker, and he was like, that was nice, man. Made my day.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he has been seeing the reactions you've been getting. A lot of the higher ups have been seeing the reactions you were getting, and they said that they were trying to get you back in at the end of 2021, but they said you weren't able to get any time off from work. So I'm curious if that's actually true. I mean, it's only been 4 months. It's not like you've been out for a year and a half or anything, but I was a little surprised that we actually didn't see you sooner after a quick knockout, because that was your only fight in 2021.
Yeah, well, I feel like if they would have asked, I would have made it happen. They just didn't. They just kind of naturally assumed. But you know, I had my manager tell them like, well, you know, what you got, and I guess they went with this. But it's been a wild ride. You're just waiting to see who are they going to give me, and then I'm in the same boat I was in, fighting up and coming prospect that's super dangerous.
Yeah. Have you felt a shift in regards to the fans as well? The trolls even, because, you know, I'll never forget this quote you gave me the last time we spoke, because people doubted you big time before you fought Christian Edwards. People are hitting you up on Instagram and social media, and you said you were willing to forgive those people heading into that fight, but you were offering up like one more chance to essentially get on board, or they have to vanquish their Big Tuna train riding privileges. Has there been a shift from the people since that win? Have you noticed like less trolls and more Tuna supporters?
There's been a lot less trolls, but I did have a guy message me the other day and said, yeah, you're getting your ass beat in this one, buddy.
Did you respond?
I did.
What'd you say?
I said, bro, you're 18 years old. You have a bathroom mirror selfie. Don't make me message your parents. And he responded, Big Tuna, please don't do it. I'm sorry. That was it. But I've had a few come in and out. But for the most part, everybody's been on my side now. I think they're finally on my side.
I think they're coming around. I think they're coming around for you.
You know, it's hard to explain to people who can't fight that, you know, you don't have to look like Ronnie Coleman to be able to fight, but for whatever reason, they think that's right. So there's a video on my phone somewhere. My daughter, when they let her grandmother let her watch my fight live on TV. It's the first time she's ever done it. She just turned 7 yesterday. And she's like, Daddy, I didn't think you were going to win. And I was like, why? She said, because that guy was big and had muscles, and you're big, but you don't have any muscles. And I was just, even kids are conditioned to think this way, but it's okay.
Now you feel,
you know what I'm capable of.
Yes, but now I feel like you could be the face of that in a way. Like it doesn't have to be that way. You could still go in there and train and bust your ass and do all that stuff. You don't have to look like an Instagram influencer or model or anything like that. As long as you can go in there and throw them hands, have some power and have some technique, you can be successful. So you could be like the face of this next generation of fighter.
I intend on it, man. I'm leading the charge for all the people that they said they couldn't do it. Kicking the door, man.
After the win in September, you called for some pretty big names. You mentioned Rampage Jackson. You said you were down to fight Phil Davis. You were down to fight Yoel Romero and others. You're willing to fight anybody from any part of the world. I know you mentioned that Sullivan's another up and coming dangerous prospect, but were you happy with that? Like, I mean, he's looked damn good in his 2 Bellator fights, but those are the only 2 fights of his pro career.
Yeah. Well, you don't think there's a reason behind that?
What do you think the reason is?
It's because they know what they got. They know he's tough. Somebody told me he walked on to Arizona State. So what does that tell you? He's got that walk-on mentality. He ain't no quitter. So me and him are probably going to engage in Bellator's most violent fight of 2022.
This is a good matchup for you. You like the idea of this matchup?
Yeah, in a way. At the same time, like he presents a lot of problems. So he's really fast. He's really powerful. And he's got great wrestling. But like you said, who knows what the other parts of his game are like? But let's find out. So I got 15 minutes to take care of business, and so does he. And I don't plan on seeing the end of that.
So you're on, from what I understand, an option deal right now, right? Like you're not exclusively a Bellator fighter right now. It's like sort of like a 2-fight option. You had the first fight. They can opt to have you for the second fight. And this is obviously the second fight. Is that accurate? And it would go off at a certain time?
And it cuts off. I signed it March 30th last year, so I'm pretty sure that's when it would expire this year. So
but after this fight, no more of this. Like you're hoping before you even go back and talk to the media, Scott Coker has a pen and a contract ready for you before you even go back and do your scrum.
I would love nothing more than that. I would love for Scott Coker to retire me from the workforce and, let me really ride this dragon and take this castle over, see what he's got planned for me. But first, I'm telling you this right now, Mike, they're signing me win, lose, or draw because of what I'm bringing on the 29th.
So you think regardless, you're getting signed after this fight?
Yeah, we'll see to it.
I like it, man. Did you know much about Sullivan at all when you got the fight?
I actually watched his last fight. And like, I was like, oh, these guys are light heavyweights. And then I seen that he was only 2-0 after he won. I was like, nah, they wouldn't have me fight that guy. He's pretty big though. And I just, forgot all about it. A few months went by. Now I'm fighting him. Yeah. But, my manager likes to think that they're, it's a good fight for us, and that they might even like be trying to let me showcase a little bit before they give me a big fight, which could be also true. But it's a win-win for them. If he wins, they win. If I win, they win. You know what I'm saying? Either way, they're getting their end of the deal out of it. That's why I said win, lose, or draw. I'm going to the league, baby. Like I got to.
So you feel like your days in the work, because you have a very busy day. You work 7 to 3, and then you train, and then when you have camp, you go like 2-3 times a day. You have a 7-year-old daughter, as you said. So
and that's not driving and cooking and washing clothes from the gym and just all that shit. I'm not married, so like it's just it's a constant work battle, and I haven't stopped since I got back. I probably took a week, maybe 2 weeks off. I trained on Christmas Day, Mike. New Year's, I was in bed before 10 o'clock New Year's Eve. Like, I've been taking it really serious. So like, somebody gonna come in there and whoop my ass and take it away from me is gonna be hard. Like they're gonna have it to do. So if he wants to beat me, he better come on his game.
Get to head into enemy territory to try to get this one done. Do you relish? Do you relish that opportunity to play spoiler?
Love it. They just better be nice to me is all I know.
But they're probably not going to be. They might be nice to you after.
I don't know many Arizonans, but if they don't want me to turn into the Texas rattlesnake Steve Austin, they better be on their best behavior.
Gonna start stunning people?
I can turn into the Eastern Diamondback real quick and start striking everybody. And everybody knows anyway, Mississippi boys run Arizona anyway. Shout out to Devin Booker.
How do you envision getting this thing done on the 29th, Big Tuna?
Knocking him the fuck out, Mike. I'm going to knock him the fuck out. And if I don't knock him out, I'm going to submit him.
Few last things, man. I know you probably get a slew of these. Bryce Mitchell, your guy, putting out a damn mixtape. That was both equally unexpected and surprising, but really good stuff, man. Like, what did you think of the mixtape?
I loved it, man. I told him to reach out to me if he ever wanted to put out any diss tracks on anybody. I could just come on board for that.
You would help him write it?
Bryce the other day.
What's that?
I actually talked to Bryce the other day. I think I'm going to go up there and train in a week or two.
Yeah, he's got a big fight lined up as well. When are we getting the Thug Nasty Big Tuna collab track? I think that's what that was like my first question when this whole thing came about. Like we got to get you guys together, dropping whether it's a diss or just dropping them rhymes, man.
I'll get up there and go to Searcy and see him, I guess, see what his studio's talking about. Like I said, I told him to hit me up on diss tracks. It's really more of my specialty, but I can do some little rhymes and stuff too. I would probably just go by Big Tuna, and he could just, I guess he's going by Thug Nasty. It makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. If Bryce came to you right now and said, "Hey, man, like I want you to bring you in to do like a bonus diss track," who would you target?
Greg Jackson and Mike Winklejohn.
Why?
Because they wouldn't shake hands with me after I beat Christian Edwards. It was disrespectful.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. In the MMA community, it would probably be Greg Jackson, Mike Winklejohn. I don't even know that Winklejohn was there, so probably just Greg.
Wow, that's kind of surprising.
He's such a nice guy. I can't do it. But yeah, they straight up wouldn't shake our hands. And I hope I'm wrong. So, Greg, if you see this, you better right your wrongs or you won't be able to get on the boat either.
Last thing, I have to know this, and I would probably kick myself if I didn't ask you this. Can I ask your thoughts on this crazy trend in the combat sports world? Because even Scott Coker has said a few times that if Jake Paul wanted to come over to MMA, he would sign both of those guys. And Jake's obviously made this big name in the boxing world in a shorter period of time. Just talked about Tyron Woodley, and this whole thing is just crazy. I can't believe in 2021, and you're rolling your eyes like a lot of other people are. What is your it's Jake Paul versus MMA. I mean, he's making a thing out of this. What do you think about it?
Let me tell you this, Mike. I just partnered up with a new foundation against bullying. It's like a charity, okay? And Jake Paul's got a charity for anti-bullying. But I know what I bet he won't do, and that's come do a winner takes all purse live on Showtime in Bellator MMA versus me. Winner's foundation gets the money. I bet you he won't game up to nothing like that because I'm his size and I don't do steroids. So, I'm all for it. I box him or fight him in MMA. I don't care.
But all for charity.
It's sad that, guys that I don't want to sound like a hater either. I kind of got props for them guys in a way because like I watched their first little streamer boxer event. I play some online video games, so like we looked at it like, look at all these pencil neck geeks are going to fight each other. So I watched it, and now look where we're at. That was in like 2017 or 16 or 8, I don't remember. But I watched that KSI Logan Paul boxing, and it was terrible. And then now look where we're at. Now he's fought Floyd Mayweather, and the other one's beating up Woodley and welterweights when he's 200 pounds, and people are just eating it up. And I actually get people bring that up to me all the time. They're like, man, I want to see you fight Jake Paul. I want to see you fight Logan Paul. Like, yeah, I want to fight him too because that'd be the easiest and the most money I ever made, probably ever. You kidding me? Like, I don't know how Woodley got even hit with it. I don't want to get pissed off and start accusing of the fight being fixed. But heck, just hear me out. Go watch the fight. All right. I'm going to show you this live. All right. If you hit me and I turn with it, it goes with it, right? If I turn towards it, and creates more resistance. So if you go watch that knockout, Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley, he hits him with the backside of his glove where the pad is, like a corkscrew hook, but nobody throws a corkscrew rear hand hook. That's not heard. I've never seen it done. I've been watching fighting for 20 something years. He throws it like this. Woodley looks with it. As soon as he hits the ground, the ref stops the fight and puts his hand flat on Tyron's back to keep him from rolling over or getting up. How many times in boxing do you see guys go down to where they don't at least wait to watch them roll or try to get back up? I mean, he literally hit the ground, didn't bounce at all either. He just like stuck. The dude pins him to the mat. How often do you see them push guys down onto the mat to keep them from getting up by their lower back and shit after they just got knocked out? That's not heard of, man. I call me a hater, man. I think it was kind of fake, kind of shoddy. That's why there was all that clinching. That's why there was all that clinching. You know, he blacked his eye, but I mean, look, I sparred with Jaleel Willis last weekend. I get hit one time with MMA gloves on. It's gonna black my eye. It's just because this is how it is. You know, yeah. Shout out to Jaleel. He's fighting on the same card. That'll be a banger. That'll be a banger.
Oh yeah. What'd you think of Hannah Guy's bare knuckle debut? That was crazy.
Yeah, I thought she did really good. She won. I thought she won the first 2 rounds, and then she started trying to box the girl, and she kept trying to make it dirty. And I've seen her since then. She came and trained a few times since then. So I mean, we've talked and stuff. I'm super proud of her though. I don't know what's next for her. She's got all kind of stuff in the works. Would love to see her make her way back to the Bellator or UFC.
Yeah, I think she's got a lot of options right now. She could stick with BKFC. She could do boxing. I know she wanted to take boxing fights to improve her striking, and that's half the reason why she took. And yeah,
she just fought the star of their sport and met her head on. And God bless her heart, though. She after fighting, she went and did something. She didn't ice her face or anything. So the next day, her eyes were like really swollen up. Bless her heart.
Yeah, she's.
I was like, yeah, you need to ice and ibuprofen. She'll make it back though, man. She's been working on her stand-up nonstop since she fought Valerie because she knows that's the only real gap she has. And I mean, it's showing. Like I told her, just watching her train one day, I could tell it was better. And I can, you know, I'm not a bullshitter. I'm not gonna tell somebody. I'm not one of those people that get people in the gym and say, "You look great, bro." Like if they're terrible or they're out of shape, I'm gonna tell them because I don't want anybody getting hurt. If you know, I'm gonna tell them what they need to hear first and foremost over trying to pump you up, make you feel good. And fake confidence is not real. That's not gonna help you win. Like real confidence is built by being good and being in good shape. The one thing you can control in fights is your conditioning, right? You know, that's the only thing you have control over when you go in there. Like, who's to say that Sullivan Cauley won't sprint at me like Verdum and throw a flying sidekick when the bell rings? You can't ever tell. But hey, heck, feeling crazy on this one. Don't think I won't come out with a little jumping, spinning shit a la Nick Diaz to start this fight off because I will.
I think a lot of people would be very excited to see that happen, just like they're excited to see you back in there January 29th in Phoenix against Sullivan Cauley. Ben, Big Tuna Parrish back on the show, and we appreciate it very much, my man. Any final words before we say goodbye, sir?
I'm getting that contract, win, lose, draw to the death, like BJ Penn when he fought George St. Pierre the third time. To the death, George. That's how we're doing it, brother. You know, I'm pulling up and I'm just scrapping Mike. I hope you're there, man. Like I said, Fight of the Year candidate. Fight of the Year candidate, 2022. Calling it right now.
We will have, I believe, two gentlemen out there covering the card. I will not be there, but I will be watching, my man.
Away from the comfort of your home, brother.
That's right. Ben, thank you for the time, my friend. Have a good one.
See you, Mike. Happy New Year, my guy.